This is the Net Group Investments podcast, where we explore a variety of views and insights that investors care about.
Hello, I'm Trevor Garvin from Net Group Investments Multi-Manager. This installment of your market and economic wrap is titled Political Changes Sweep Across the Globe. Finally, the South African cabinet is announced. On Sunday night, the new cabinet of the Government of National Unity was announced. President Ramaphosa drew in 9 of the 11 political parties to ministries in the new Government of National Unity. The ANC was forced to enter into a Government of National Unity after it garnered just 40% of the vote, losing the majority it had held since Nelson Mandela first led it to power in 1994. Ramaphosa announced that the ANC, Democratic Alliance, Patriotic Alliance, Inkatha Freedom Party, the Good Party, Pan-African Congress of Azania, Freedom Front Plus, United Democratic Movement, Al-Jama'ah, all members of the Government of National Unity, would have representatives in the cabinet. John Steenhuisen, leader of the Democratic Alliance, was appointed Minister of Agriculture, whilst Paul Mashatile remains on as Deputy President. Moving to Europe, the political earthquake that France woke up to on Monday needs to be carefully watched. The far right swept to victory in the first round of legislative elections after President Emmanuel Macron's almighty gamble to have elections backfired. Now the centrist leader and the country's left are scrambling to thwart the National Rally Party under the leadership of Marine Le Pen in the second round of voting on the 7th of July and prevent France's first far-right government since the Nazi occupation in World War II. In the US, former President Donald Trump and incumbent Joe Biden had their first face-to-face TV debate, with Trump coming out the clear winner. Many Democratic leaders are worried about whether Biden is physically up to a second term as US president. In the United Kingdom, it is also highly expected that they shall welcome in a new Prime Minister this coming Friday, with elections being held on Thursday, the 4th of July. It is expected that the Labour Party will take power from the current Conservative government that has been in power the last 14 years. Sir Keir Starmer, leader of the Labour Party, will take over from the current Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. According to polls, it is expected that the Conservative Party will have their lowest number of parliamentary seats in over 200 years post the elections. On the sporting front, sadly the South African Proteas cricket team could not take the World Cup T20 title, losing to India by 7 runs in a nail-biting final. England managed to get a last-minute goal in extra time, putting them into the knockout stages of the Euro Soccer Cup, and George Russell took only his second ever Formula One victory in the Austrian Grand Prix. Turning to investment markets, the rand fell sharply this past week as the positive sentiment brought about by the formation of the Government of National Unity and the likely benefits for the economy faded into the distance. The negative sentiment weighed on the rand, which fell to 18 Rand 47 to the dollar late on trade Thursday. Since the cabinet announcement on Sunday, it has pulled back marginally to hover around currently 18 Rand 38 to the dollar. The Japanese yen has dipped to a 40-year low against the US dollar, weakening by more than 40%, further raising speculation that the Bank of Japan will intervene and raise rates. Local equities were mostly in the red the past week, with the JSE FTSE All-Share Index dropping by 0.85% on Thursday and by around 2% the past 10 days. Financials gave up some of their substantial gains from the last week, while industrials were also softer. US equities were positive last week, with strong gains of between 2 and 5% across Tesla, Amazon and Apple, pushing the Nasdaq market even higher. In Europe, stocks edged higher with the DAX gaining 0.25%. The UK FTSE fell by 0.7% from last week's gains as the 4th of July parliamentary elections loom. Brent crude oil prices jumped by over 1% to $88 a barrel on Thursday, caused by the intensifying conflict in the Middle East. That brings us to the end of today's market report. We are certainly in for an interesting few weeks ahead and shall be watching election results very closely. Till next time, with thanks, Trevor.
Nedgroup Collective Investments is an authorized collective investments scheme manager in terms of the Collective Investments Schemes Control Act. Nedgroup Investments does not provide advice on financial products and will only give you factual information. For further details on our funds and to view our terms and conditions, please visit nedgroupinvestments.co.za. Nedgroup Investments. See money differently.